You're lying in bed. It's past midnight. You're exhausted, but your brain completely wired, replaying conversations, running through tomorrow's to-do list, calculating how many hours of sleep you'll get if you fall asleep right now. Sound familiar? That's the cruel irony of insomnia. The harder you try to sleep, the further away it gets. Here's what most people don't realize. Struggling to fall asleep is almost never about willpower. It's about biology. And when you understand what's actually happening in your body, fixing it becomes a whole lot simpler. Today, we're covering 5 science-backed methods used by therapists, sleep clinics, and even the US military that have been shown to reduce the time it takes to fall asleep. And at the end, we'll cover the mistakes that make all of these methods fail. So, because most people are unknowingly sabotaging themselves. Let's get into it. First, why you can't fall asleep. Before the methods, you need to understand why this is happening. Because if you're fighting the wrong enemy, every fix is going to feel useless. Your body has 2 main systems that control sleep. The first is called sleep pressure, basically how much your body is craving rest. The longer you've been awake, the higher this pressure builds. Think of it like a debt. The more you owe, the harder your body pushes for sleep. The second system is your circadian rhythm, your internal body clock controlled by a tiny region deep in your brain. This clock responds to light, temperature, and daily routines. When it thinks it's nighttime, it releases melatonin. When it thinks it's daytime, it does the opposite. Here's the problem most people face. They go to bed stressed. Heart rate is up. Mind is racing. Muscles are tense. The body is still stuck in what scientists call sympathetic arousal, fight or flight mode, and sleep simply cannot happen when your nervous system is in that state. Sleep requires the opposite. It requires your body to shift into parasympathetic mode, the rest and digest state. Lower heart rate, slower breathing, relaxed muscles, a quieter mind. That shift doesn't happen automatically for everyone, especially not after a stressful day. And that's exactly where these 5 methods come in. Method 1. Progressive muscle relaxation. Here's something that will surprise you. Most of us carry physical tension we don't even notice. Tight jaw, clenched shoulders, feet you haven't consciously relaxed in hours. That tension is a signal to your nervous system that something is still wrong, and your body won't fully shift into sleep mode while that signal is running. Progressive muscle relaxation, or PMR, was developed by physician Edmund Jacobson, and it works by systematically releasing that hidden tension from the ground up. Here's how to do it. Lie down, close your eyes, start at your feet, inhale and curl your toes tightly. Hold for 5 seconds, then exhale and let go completely. Feel that contrast. The release is the whole point. Move up to your calves, your thighs, your abdomen, your shoulders, your jaw. Each group, tense 5 seconds, release, breathe. The whole thing takes about 5 minutes. And what you're doing is teaching your nervous system to shift from fight or flight into what researchers call the parasympathetic state. Rest and digest. Heart rate slows, stress signals drop. Sleep starts to feel possible. Here's why this matters clinically. PMR is a core component of CBTI, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, which is considered the gold standard non-drug treatment for chronic insomnia. Not a supplement, not an app, the actual gold standard. One mistake people make, tensing too hard. You're looking for a firm squeeze, not a cramp, and don't rush through it. Give each muscle group 10 to 30 seconds of release time. That pause is where the magic happens. Method 2, 4-7-8 breathing. This next one addresses the racing mind and it works fast, sometimes within a single minute. When anxiety spikes at bedtime, your breathing tends to become shallow and quick. That sends a signal to your brain, danger is near. Your heart rate climbs, cortisol stays elevated, sleep feels further away than ever. The 4-7-8 technique reverses this by extending your exhale. And that's the key. A longer exhale stimulates the vagus nerve, which directly activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Your body interprets that long, slow breath as a signal of safety. Here's the technique. Place your tongue lightly behind your upper front teeth. Exhale completely through your mouth. Then inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Hold for 7. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8. Make a soft whooshing sound. Repeat 4 cycles. If holding your breath for 7 counts feels uncomfortable at first, that's okay. Breathe at your own pace. What matters most is that your exhale is longer than your inhale. That ratio is what produces the calming effect. This method is best for people whose biggest bedtime problem is a pounding heart, anxious thoughts, or a mind that won't stop running. Method 3. Stimulus control. The rule most people ignore. This one sounds simple, but it's arguably the most powerful technique in this entire video. Here's the problem: if you regularly lie awake in bed, scrolling, worrying, watching TV, replaying your day, your brain starts learning something. It starts associating your bed with wakefulness, with frustration, with stress. And the more that association gets reinforced, the harder it becomes to fall asleep there. This is called negative conditioning. And over time, just getting into bed can trigger alertness in your nervous system. The fix is stimulus control, and it works by retraining that association. The rule is straightforward. Your bed is only for sleep, not scrolling, not working, not lying awake worrying about why you're still awake. And here's the part most people resist. If you've been awake for around 20 minutes and sleep isn't coming, get out of bed. Sit somewhere dim and quiet. Read something low stakes. Do some calm breathing. Don't look at bright screens. Return to bed only when you genuinely feel sleepy. This feels counterintuitive, but the research behind it is strong. Stimulus control is a core element of CBT1 and has been shown to outperform sleep medication in the long run. It consistently improves sleep onset time, sleep efficiency, and nighttime awakenings. The mistake almost everyone makes? Clock watching. Checking the time every few minutes while lying awake builds a loop of anxiety that makes everything worse. If you're using this method, turn the clock away. Method 4. Guided imagery. This one targets the overthinking brain directly, and it works because of a simple fact about how attention works. Your brain has limited bandwidth. It cannot deeply worry about a problem and simultaneously imagine a vivid sensory scene. Those two processes compete. And if you direct attention toward the imagined scene with enough detail, rumination loses. Guided imagery is the technique. Close your eyes and build a calm mental scene, slowly, with sensory detail. Maybe you're floating on still water in the afternoon sun, feeling the gentle warmth on your skin. Maybe you're sitting inside a cabin while rain taps softly on the roof, smelling pine wood and cold air. Add sounds, add textures, add temperature. The key is specificity. The more concrete and sensory your scene, the more cognitive bandwidth it occupies, and the less room there is for anxious thoughts to creep back in. Research supports that imagery distraction methods reduce pre-sleep cognitive activity, one of the most common drivers of insomnia. It's particularly useful for people whose main struggle is overthinking, replaying conversations, or spiraling before bed. A related technique called cognitive shuffling, developed by sleep scientist Dr. Luc Baudouin, adds a twist. Choose a neutral word, something boring like bed, and for each letter, visualize a series of random unrelated objects. B. A bear, a basket, a boat. This randomness mimics the fragmented, disorganized thoughts that naturally occur as you drift towards sleep, and it essentially tricks your brain into thinking it's already there. Studies suggest it can cut sleep onset time in half with regular use. Method 5. Optimize your bedroom environment. This is the one that feels obvious, but most people are getting it wrong in at least one way. Here's what's happening in your body when sleep begins. Your core temperature has to drop. This isn't metaphorical, it's biology. Sleep onset is physically linked to your body cooling down, typically around 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit below your daytime baseline. If your room is warm, that drop is harder to achieve. Your body stays alert. Sleep stays shallow or distant. The research-backed ideal is a cool room, somewhere between 65 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, or roughly 18 to 19 degrees Celsius. If you tend to run cold, wear socks. Warming your feet causes blood vessels to dilate, which actually pulls heat away from your core, helping, not hurting, that temperature drop. Darkness matters too. Light suppresses melatonin, the hormone that signals to your brain that it's night. Even low-level light in the bedroom can subtly delay your sleep timing over time. Blackout curtains or a sleep mask make a real difference for light-sensitive people. Quiet matters, but total silence isn't always the goal. Steady, consistent sound, like a white noise machine or a fan, masks the sudden, jarring sounds that cause micro-arousals throughout the night. Those micro-arousals don't always fully wake you. but they fragment your sleep cycles and leave you exhausted by morning. Put it together: cool, dark, quiet. It sounds basic, but these three factors directly influence your biology, and getting them right is often the fastest passive fix for people who struggle to fall or stay asleep. Method 6. The military sleep method. This last one has a story behind it, and the numbers are hard to ignore. In 1981, the US Army published a manual called Relax and Win, designed to help military pilots fall asleep in high-stress environments, cramped cockpits, noisy aircraft, combat conditions. The method they developed was later reported to achieve a 96% success rate after 6 weeks of consistent practice. That number gets thrown around a lot online, but here's what's actually interesting. The reason it works isn't military magic. It's because the method quietly bundles together three of the most evidence-based sleep tools that exist: progressive muscle relaxation, controlled breathing, and guided imagery, into one systematic sequence. Here's exactly how it works. 5 steps. Step 1. Relax your face completely. Unclench your jaw. Let your tongue go flat. Soften the muscles around your eyes. Most people hold surprising tension in their face without realizing it, and releasing it is a direct signal to your nervous system that the day is done. Step 2. Drop your shoulders as low as they'll go. Then let your arms go completely limp, one at a time, feeling them sink heavy into the bed. Step 3. Exhale slowly and let your chest sag with the breath. Don't force anything, just release. Step 4. Relax your legs. Let your thighs go heavy, then your calves. And then your feet. Imagine them sinking downward, heavy and warm. Step 5. Clear your mind for 10 seconds. This is the part people struggle with most, and it's where imagery comes in. Picture yourself in a canoe on a perfectly still lake, sunlight on the water, nothing moving. Or imagine lying in a dark room in a hammock, swaying gently. If a thought tries to push in, don't fight it. Just quietly repeat the phrase, "Don't think," until the imagery returns. That 10-second mental blank is what bridges physical relaxation into actual sleep on set. Now, here's what the internet gets wrong about this method. People try it once, can't fall asleep in 2 minutes, and declare it a failure. But sleep experts are clear: even healthy people take 10 to 20 minutes to fall asleep. The goal of the military method isn't to knock you out instantly. It's to systematically remove every layer of physical and mental tension that's keeping you awake. If you find the imagery part uncomfortable or unnatural, swap the canoe for a scene that actually feels peaceful to you. That personalization, according to clinicians, doubles how well it sticks. And if you pair this with the 4-7-8 breathing beforehand as a primer, the research suggests you'll hit that calm state significantly faster. One important note: this method was designed for soldiers who were already physically exhausted from training and deployment. If you're a civilian lying in a comfortable bed with an unstimulated body and a mind still buzzing from a screen, the method alone may not be enough. That's where stimulus control and sleep hygiene become essential, which brings us to the insight most people miss entirely. Now, here's the insight most people miss. And it changes the game. Sleep quality isn't just about what you do at bedtime. It's built across the entire day. The biggest long-term lever is one that has nothing to do with breathing techniques or room temperature. It's your wake time. Waking up at the same time every day, yes, even on weekends, is the single most powerful anchor for your circadian rhythm. It builds sleep pressure steadily. It trains your body clock to expect sleep at a consistent hour. And it does more for long-term sleep quality than almost any bedtime technique. Sleep experts call it the foundation. And while it's not a one-night fix, people who commit to a consistent wake time typically see results within 1 to 2 weeks. Let's bring this together into something you can actually use tonight. Snug an hour before bed. Dim your lights, put the phone down, and stop any emotionally activating content. Work emails, social media, arguments. Your nervous system needs time to wind down. In bed, start with 3 minutes of progressive muscle relaxation, then move into 4-7-8 breathing for 3 minutes, then run through the military method. Face, shoulders, chest, legs, 10-second mental clear. Finish with guided imagery or cognitive shuffling for the final few minutes. If you're still awake after 20 minutes, get out of bed, reset, and return when you're genuinely sleepy. And starting tomorrow morning, set a wake time and protect it. There's no guaranteed 2-minute sleep hack that works for everyone. But these 6 methods, PMR, breathing, stimulus control, imagery, environment optimization, and the military method, have decades of research behind them and form the backbone of the most effective insomnia treatment in existence. Consistency beats shortcuts, every time. If you found this useful, subscribe. We break down complex health and performance topics into clear, practical steps you can actually use. More coming soon. We'll see you in the next one.